very exciting time for us. This is a dramatic departure from previous programs. It's a novel approach that we're taking. It's an approach that we've come up with in conjunction with many different agencies, individuals, people who have helped us with this. We'll name those at the conclusion, but I'd just like to say that we're very glad that you're here today and have a chance to hear our story. Dennis has done a great job of describing the nature of farmer-led watershed initiatives such as Yahara Pride and Peninsula Pride. Basically, we feel the strength of this approach is we're a group of farmers working collaboratively. Farmers are very independent people as by their nature. They tend to be off on their own farms, doing their own things, changing things every year, trying something different every year, but maybe not doing it in a coherent, cohesive fashion with ways to measure the results. What we have as an organization now is the opportunity to work collaboratively and work together where we can identify 4 or 5 different practices for land management, whether it be surface water or groundwater, that we can focus on. And we're then able to take those practices and maybe apply them to 4 fields at Dairy Dreams and 3 more fields at the Ponderosa. Different operators in our program could be trying the same idea, and then we can have Dennis to calculate the data at the end of the year and look at what potential impact on surface water runoff or what potential impact on groundwater those practices may have had. So this collaborative approach allows us to combine our efforts of the 43 farms that are members of Peninsula Pride and come up with a much faster pace of ideas and innovations and improvements that we could have made as individuals. We can also collaborate with other groups such as Yahara Pride and benefit from their program and save that year of beer drinking and arguing that they went through, although maybe that'll come later. But in the meantime, we're here about action. We're here about changing the metrics in Kewaunee and Southern Door County, and that's what we're all about. If I take everybody back in time, I think most of you are aware that about 2 years ago, the DNR put together 5 different work groups to work on different aspects of environmental challenges in Kewaunee County. Many of us in the room, farmers, were members of one or more of those work groups. Those work groups included farmers. They also included people representing the environmental community. They represented various agencies, the EPA, the DNR, the county department, Door County Department also, working together from many different aspects on the different areas. Many of us came through that process, which went on for a year and a half, thinking, well, this is great, we've had a lot of discussions, but where's the action going to be? And that helped the creative initiative of putting together a group like this, where the farmers that were involved in those groups and others could say, okay, people have come up with good ideas, good tactics, how are we now going to get those implemented out in the fields? And how are we going to go beyond, how are we going to take that spirit of innovation and collaboration and use that spirit to be our mode of moving forth with our practices. So this spring, we started having discussions as a farmer group as to do we want to start a group similar to Yahara Pride Farms, which Tom Conniff brought to the attention of several of us. We liked what they were doing. We thought it made a lot of sense. We were very lucky to get Dennis to come up and be our consultant and advisor as he is with Yahara. So in March of this year, Peninsula Pride started officially as an operation. We now have 43 farm members. We have 32,000 cows approximately, 57,000 acres approximately. That means that between Kewaunee and Southern Door, our membership represents about 40% of the cows and the acres in farmland. Our smallest herd member is 60 cows, our largest is 6,000 cows. We also have several crop farms with no cows whatsoever. So we're trying to get a broad-based spectrum of agriculture here in the 1.5 county area. As Dennis mentioned, we have now 2 major initiatives. We have our surface water team working on things. You'll see a lot of initiatives on cover crops, protected waterways, low impact manure spreading, And they're working very hard at putting those ideas into practice and measuring their results. We also have the groundwater team, who is also looking at longer term practices. We've had a work group for farmers on testing soil depth to bedrock. Obviously, your most sensitive areas on your farm are the areas with the shallowest soil. A lot of times farmers didn't have the tools available to them to make those determinations, so we put on a workshop for farmers to be able to identify their more sensitive areas. We've also put together a working paper on various pathogen reduction techniques we can use in applying manure. This is a one-of-a-kind paper. Nothing like that have I ever seen come forth, just guiding farmers on tactics they can use to reduce pathogens going into groundwater. We put that together, we distributed that to our membership, and we're starting to work on those best management practices. So we've got a long game on making changes from past practices going back 100 years, and we're putting those in place. Today, however, we're going to focus on a new initiative we have called WaterWell. WaterWell is a program to provide immediate relief to the people that may need it from a potentially hazardous water contamination situation. What WaterWell is the Peninsula Pride Farms approach to helping people that have received a report of E. coli contamination in their well water. As that homeowner, for whatever reason they tested, if they were participating in the county program, if they were testing on their own, if they were testing the water because they're an expected mother, for whatever purpose, if they have an E. coli result coming back from a certified lab to confirm the correct diagnosis, they will be directed to take several steps to correct that E. coli situation.